Hi, I'm Maddie,
I'm Annabelle.
and this is
Lobotomy.
So
I squeaked on the way back down.
it has been mere hours for us, but a whole week for you guys.
Yeah.
So welcome back. Welcome back, us, I guess, too.
I guess so.
We do have an update in the past couple hours.
We do
Annabelle,
have an
take it away.
update in the past couple hours. The reason that we were gone for a couple hours is because I went to the doctor.
She went to the doctor.
I went to the doctor. For the first time in like 3 years.
Not for me. I went to the doctor with Annabelle. So, yeah. That is absolutely, honestly, I think the best transition.
Well, I have one more update that I forgot to share in the last time.
Hit me with it.
I started producing another song. So that one, we have now. Song number 2 is in the works. Song number 1 is officially done, but we're holding off on mastering until I've got a few songs, and then we're just going to master them all at the same time. But we're working on song number 2, and we're like probably a little over halfway done,
which is awesome.
Which is really cool. We kind of, I think there was more of a basis this time of what I wanted it to sound like, so we got through it a little faster. But.
So I think the only other thing is, over this past week that you haven't heard from us, but we're speaking to you in the future.
In the future,
so
we will
have returned from Swing Fling.
Well, by the time this airs, you technically won't be back yet.
I won't be back yet. I will have returned. Back. I will be traveling back on the day
when you are listening to this. If you are listening to this at the time it's released, Maddie will be on her way back, and I will be back.
We have Annabelle's birthday. We have fun DC competition.
Nobody needs to know.
It's gonna be amazing.
We're going to Swing Fling in DC, so that'll be so fun.
It is a West Coast swing competition, as I'm sure many of you know about, and some of you have no idea, but the others, it's a dance competition where we will social dance for fun as well as compete for also fun, but we will pay to do it. That's how I'm going to phrase that.
We will pay to do fun.
We will pay for fun.
We pay for fun. Yeah. No, last year we went and we had Rob with us, our friend Rob from New Zealand. Love you, Rob. Miss you, Rob.
Miss you.
Come back. I know you can't, but come back. I'll come to you eventually. We'll come to you. We'll make it happen
one day.
But yeah, it was really fun times last year, and we weren't even at the main hotel this year. We're at the main hotel. It's gonna be
amazing.
It's gonna be so fun. We're not gonna have to walk across the street in the middle of the night.
I didn't mind. You did. She thought I died last year.
No, that was DC.
That was DC. Still similar.
That was DCSX. Different.
Similar idea though.
Same hotel.
I walked back.
Same hotel. Same overflow hotel that we stayed at.
3 a.m. I walked back. 4 a.m.
5
a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. She checks my location, and it's just
because we walked. Me and our friend Brittany Bush, who we were rooming with, walked back to the hotel at like 5 a.m. Which at that point, the other person that we were rooming with and Maddie had both said we're going to bed 2 hours prior. No, I think Bonnie said like maybe half an hour or an hour before, but Maddie had gone to bed supposedly 2 hours before. So we get back to the hotel room and I'm like, Bonnie's in the bathroom. Where the fuck is Maddie? So I open Life 360. Maddie's in the middle of the road.
And logically, we should have run into each other. Like, genuinely, I was in the lobby at the same time. We should have crossed paths.
Oh, we went out the back door.
That's why.
Yeah.
I went out the front door. And
I was like, why the fuck is Maddie in the middle of the road? She's dead. She's dying in the middle of the road. And somehow I didn't notice.
We walked past
2 seconds ago.
Dead.
Walked past where she supposedly is right now. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, of course she did. Because she walked home at 3 a.m. across the road by herself. Of course she's dead in the middle of the road.
I was not dead. I was walking back. Dead. I came in the room like a minute or two later, and the hysterics were freshly breaking out.
It was all 3 of us being like, why is Maddie in the middle of the fucking road? You walk in the door, we all turn towards you, and I'm like, Maddie, why were you in the middle of the fucking road?
And I was like, I was walking across? I don't know.
Oh my god. Well, all of us lost it for about another hour Bonnie's like, guys, I need to go to bed. She's the one cracking us up, and we were like,
We can't.
we can't. We couldn't hold it together at all. We tried so hard. Oh my god, that was fun times. But yeah, swing playing was also really fun. So I like the DC events a lot.
Me too. I'm very excited to be back. See you soon, DC.
See you soon.
Well,
Okay.
in the future, we will have just seen you, so hi from the future past future. Haha. Moving on. So in the spirit of Annabelle going to the doctor.
At the end of the season, I really need to do a compilation of all of the like Jim camera looks that I do, like Jim from The Office camera, like it pans to the camera, because I'm like, there's so many times where I just look at the camera, I'm like,
you get it. So
it's gonna take me so long.
In the spirit of Annabelle going to the doctor and advocating for herself, we are going to do a
I did good
physical health for chronically ill girlies episode, where we're going to talk a little bit
we
about
have no plans,
some of our symptoms and experiences with doctors, and just kind of awareness of what we go through day to day, because we both are not very visibly disabled to a degree. Like, we don't, I guess, read as chronically ill as people who struggle with health issues.
We sure talk about it a lot.
We do, but
we don't look it.
We don't necessarily look like it.
You had no idea who we were, you'd have no idea.
We seem fairly able-bodied, but we both struggle with different things on a day-to-day basis. And so, one, it's cathartic to talk about, but two, raising awareness of sometimes you can't see what's going on, and just how our experiences with doctors have been, and life, and jobs, and school, and how these things have affected it. So this might be on a little bit more of a serious note. So if you're here for the shiggles, you may want to tune in next week instead.
Yeah.
But if you're here and want to learn a little bit more about us or about just chronic illness in general, stick around.
Yeah. It's just going to be a talky episode. We don't have anything planned. We're just going to yap. So some of you like those episodes. So I've heard.
So just kind of off the bat, I think I want to get out of the way some of the like high level diagnosis. So we both are ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
We both are suspected to be autistic.
Yep.
Not formally diagnosed.
There's so many things where when I went to get diagnosed with, because I got diagnosed in high school, I talked with my psychiatrist at the time, and I was like, I'm still like, this is on my mom's dime. Like, I'm not doing this for myself. This is like specifically so I can get help in school. So I'm like, these are things that I think like I need to get diagnosed with, because like we've done the research. Like I essentially at that time I already kind of knew, but like I needed the formal diagnosis. And we talked about some other things where I was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm ready to put this on paper right now. I don't think I'm ready to answer questions. I don't think I'm ready to like deal with the like implications of like having to explain these things to my mom, like, and my dad and stuff. Like, I've had to ease them into some of these diagnoses, even the ones that are formally diagnosed, where I'm like, so there are some informal diagnoses that I have.
And then we both struggle with mental health. And we deal with those things very differently. And so I do think that's
Absolutely
important. And then
I'm neurotic as fuck.
As far as physical ailments, we both fall under the POTS diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten an EDS diagnosis?
Not formally, because I was worried it was going to cause issues with me immigrating.
Yeah.
So not formally, but I am aware that I have it.
I also have EDS. There is a high likelihood that I have some sort of unmarked, unmapped inflammatory autoimmune disorder. My father has the same thing, and it hasn't super been explored. A lot of the symptoms line up with eosinophilic esophagitis, allergies, possibly MCAS. There's a lot of overlap with some other things, but it's not formally been put in one box at this point in time. I do have a lot of like life-threatening allergies. And so there's a lot there health-wise that just makes life a little bit more difficult. But yeah, is there anything you want to add with like just overarching overview of diagnoses?
I don't have any life-threatening allergies, but I do have allergies and like I don't know, intolerances, I guess is the way to say it. Like I've got my health issues when it comes to food stuff. I've also got ARFID, which I think we've mentioned it a couple times before. But so I have my eating habits outside of what I like my body will reject versus what my mind will reject, and therefore my body will reject, which is really fun. I got called a picky eater a lot for that one, and I'm like, it's not picky because if I could eat it, I would. However, my brain has decided that I will not, and so therefore my body will reject it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I'm also OCD.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm like we've both got the ADHD and the autism, but I got the OCD too.
Um, so I think I want to start kind of diving in with just like day-to-day stuff. I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't, I guess, immediately understand or couldn't like as a baseline comprehend is that every single day I wake up in pain. Like it's
Yeah.
not, oh, it's raining, my knee hurts. It is my baseline
Although
day.
that too.
That is a worse pain. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
those are the days I'm going to complain about it. But every single day, even on a very good day, my joints hurt, my muscles are sore, I might have brain fog. Like
Yeah.
my body hurts every single day just waking up. And
Our baseline is pain.
it's not from not taking care of
No.
ourselves. It is not from like not necessarily doing the right steps. A low level of pain is good. That's a good day. But
I don't think I've experienced a day without pain since I was a child. And even then, I couldn't tell you if I did experience a day without pain.
yeah,
Because it's just so normal now that I'm like, I think that's the thing that makes it hard for people to believe because they're like, well, if you're in pain, wouldn't we like,
debilitating.
wouldn't you like be complaining about it all the time? And I'm like, no, because like, do you want to hear me complain about being in pain 24/7? Like, no, like nobody wants to hear that. So we've all learned that like I'm just gonna shut up about it. Like I'm just gonna live my life. And honestly, like at this point, I'm so fucking used to it that I'm like, oh yeah, my nerves are spasming again. Or like right now, I have a fucking nerve spasm at the base of my head. At this exact moment, I also am having a back thing because I've been sitting like this.
But yeah,
Like in the moment, if you asked me, like pull me aside at any moment and any day, and just ask me what hurts, I can tell you at least one thing, if
yeah.
not multiple.
And so it makes it harder to pay attention to injuries because if you're always in pain, A, your threshold for pain is a lot higher.
Mhm.
And B, you're so used to everything hurting. When is it a problem and when is it just your baseline?
Yeah.
And so it's harder to.
Which the answer is it's always a problem.
It's always a problem, but it's also when do you need to actively do something about it?
Oh, it's me dislocating my rib a year ago.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago. Right before New Year's, I got really, really sick after a cruise I went on. Because I got heat stroke on the cruise, and therefore it was my immune system was shot. So I ended up getting, I don't even know. I never went to the doctor, which don't do what I do. Go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
I didn't go to the doctor, and I was like, well, I'm just like coughing a bunch. My chest hurts, whatever. I'm laying in bed one night, I like twist to cough, and as I twist and cough at the same time, I pulled a rib out of socket, like completely dislocated my rib. Luckily, it was one of the floating ribs, so it wasn't like the end of the world, but it hurt, and it was like sore for a few days, and then as time went on, it got worse and worse and worse, and I was like, it took about a week and a half for me to admit that it was a problem and not just my base amount of pain, because I was like, yeah, I'm kind of always in pain, but like I don't think I've usually had this much like trouble breathing from something that like I'm like, it's been a few days of like constant pain where I was like, and it was getting worse where I was like, maybe I should do something about it. So then finally, actually at Spotlight last year, I went and I found Abby
Jennings.
Abby Jennings. Shout out to her. If you see her at an event, if you're a dancer and you see her at an event, like, and you need something bodywork wise, go to her. Incredible.
She is not a nice like comfortable masseuse, will not be a very relaxing muscle thing, but if you have a problem, she will fix it.
She'll fix it.
Oh my
I couldn't
goodness.
recommend her enough. She saved my life that night. I was in pain for pretty much the whole event, and then finally the last night, I was like, oh my god, I can breathe. And I went insane that night. I partied so hard because I was like, oh my god, I'm alive again. But
So
it's things like that where you're like, well, this will heal because everything else just goes away. It comes
eventually,
back, but it goes away.
yeah.
So
Similar story. Actually, two similar stories. So one, I dislocated my hip, and Abby put it back in.
mm-hmm.
I was actively trying to dance on my dislocated hip.
I was dancing with the dislocated rib.
And so that was one of those things where, like, yeah, it hurt, but it was like, oh, I probably just pulled something. I cannot tell that, like, gauge, like,
Yeah.
oh, I've permanently injured myself versus, oh, this is a problem
Yeah.
or just a soreness.
Maybe
and
you
then
show everybody
I actually also dislocated a rib.
mm-hmm.
I was doing lifts and I landed on my ribs instead of my back like I was supposed to.
Yep.
And it popped out. I did not know that's what happened at the time, though.
Yeah.
For like 6 hours, I was complaining about.
It doesn't feel how you think it would feel.
I thought I was nauseous. I was not in any pain.
I wasn't for the first few days either. I was like, I'm a little sore, but like,
no soreness, no pain. I just was nauseous and I felt off.
Yeah.
And later that night, I'm doing yoga, I'm stretching, I'm taking deep breaths, and all of a sudden,
I think yours wasn't a dislocation though. I think it was like a sublux or like a torqued. I think yours was torqued. I don't think you could have popped it in by yourself had it been completely dislocated. Like Abby had to like contort me and like
yours also
push.
had been out
it was
for
also
a week and a half.
Yours was out for a few days though.
Hours.
Was it really?
It was the same day.
Oh, because it was hurting for a few days after, right?
Yeah. So the second it popped back in,
that's when it started hurting.
I could feel it. And it was excruciating pain after that point.
Cup just picked up.
Saw that. Oh, the coaster went with Annabelle's cup.
It plopped into my lap and I was like, hello?
But I couldn't feel the pain until after it had popped back into wherever it was, whether it was subluxation or a full luxation. Couldn't tell you because it didn't go anywhere. It did it all on its own because I still had not realized it was a rib problem yet. Yeah. I thought I had just like landed really hard on my side and it was bruised. Mm-hmm. And like, oh, maybe like my stomach hurts because of that. I was nauseous. I didn't feel right. I was like, I don't feel good. But I was stretching that night. I'm just trying to feel better. And I took a deep breath in while I was stretching and it went and just excruciating pain for the next like hour or two. And it was bad for the next week or two.
Yeah. I also like after I got mine popped back in, it was months of it healing.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, I think I did something to my spine. I was scared.
It's definitely been subluxating since then. That same rib, mm-hmm. which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just general body aches and pains are weird to just navigate.
Yeah. It's really odd to be like, yeah, I'm constantly in pain. Even in the last 10 minutes as we've been talking, pain's been moving around my body.
Yep. So
like it's just really weird to be like, yeah, I'm in a constant state of pain and people are like, you don't look like it. And I'm like,
what am I supposed to do?
Do you want me on the ground like screaming and crying? Like, no, I'm functional.
I have to be.
I'm functional. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
So I'm functional now.
Another thing I feel like we deal with on a daily basis with just the comorbidities is the like nausea and food issues. So
I mean, our last episode with the would you rather be green every time you're nauseous, I was like, I'd be green like most of the day.
Yep.
But at least people would believe me when I'm like, if it's an ARFID thing and I try to eat it, I would turn green.
Yep.
Immediately. I would turn green the second it's on the plate in front of me.
Yeah.
Thinking about eating foods that I like, my body rejects the foods. Thinking about eating them makes me sick. It makes me immediately want to gag, and it's frustrating as fuck.
Yeah. On a different note, I don't have that nausea because of anything mental. We're just seeing it. I have two types of allergies. Mm-hmm. Food wise, I have the ones that are going to actually kill me and send me to the hospital. I think we've talked.
I don't have any of those, thank God.
About me booking a flight and genuinely not remembering it because I was in.
Yeah. That was the peppers. That was the peppers, and now you can eat peppers.
Yeah, as of last week, I can now eat peppers again, which is exciting. It was a whole year without them. And like the last time I ate peppers, like again, it was 3 or 4 days of me going in and out of anaphylaxis. And that takes a toll on your body, by the way.
Yeah.
Anaphylaxis is your airways closing up, in case you didn't know. So it's like swelling up to the point where you cannot breathe.
Yep.
So you're having restricted oxygen, lots of inflammation, was running a fever of like 100 and something. Genuinely like could not keep food down. I had brain fog so bad I could not like form sentences. I was a ghost for that week.
Yep.
I was not a.
We all thought you died. This was before you lived with me, and I thought you died.
I was not having a good time.
And the way Reg was talking about it, it seemed like you died.
Yeah.
You were like the living dead.
He was like, I never understood
the severity of it.
Yeah. Or even just like the saying that like someone went pale as a sheet. Because like the blood was drained from my body. I looked dead. It was bad.
Yeah.
And so again, that was just
booked a flight.
Eating food.
Yeah.
Eating food set me into a like week-long horrible horrible time. And so like dairy does that versus I have a lot of inflammatory. Technically, they are sensitivities, but they're also very severe sensitivities. So like with gluten, if I eat gluten,
should be out of commission for like days.
It causes severe inflammation of my joints, migraines, GI tract, GI issues. I don't feel good. Within minutes, I'm talking within 20 minutes, my stomach has so swollen, I look a couple months pregnant.
Tell them the story. Spotlight.
So, Spotlight 2 years ago.
This was before we were friends.
Got very tipsy.
We knew who each other were, but we were not like hanging out and stuff. Like you came to our room, I think, and partied a little bit before dinner and stuff, but like
we didn't know each other.
We barely knew each other.
So
I did not like your boyfriend at the time.
We got pretty drunk. And we were trying to order food at 2 a.m. on New Year's Day. The only place that was open was this pizza place, and they would deliver it to the hotel. I was excited. And they had buy one, get one free breadsticks and nothing gluten-free on that menu. So I was like, well, if I need food, which I did need food because I was a little too drunk, I'm going to need to eat gluten. And I'm drunk enough, and it's New Year's Day, and I haven't had breadsticks in so long.
And the thing was, too, we were all leaving the next day. This was the year where it was like the last day of the event lined up with New Year's Eve. So it was like New Year's Day, everybody leaves. Like there's nothing going on. You have just the car ride back.
So I was like, I can manage that. I can just be sickly and gross. But with the buy one, get one free on the breadsticks, I was like, well, these are mine now. I got 2 trays. I'm not talking like, 1 or 2 breadsticks. Trays of breadsticks. And I ate them all the second they arrived. I ate 2 trays of breadsticks all by myself. People asked for something. I said, no, these are my breadsticks. If I'm going to be in pain, it's going to be worth it.
I'm going to make it damn well worth it.
So I go to bed and
I was not here for this story, but I have heard this story from everybody's perspective.
I wake up the next morning and we're like going downstairs and I feel awful. And I wish I could say it was because I had drank too much and had too good of a time. And it was not. It was the breadsticks. So people are checking out. We're waiting on people. I am like groaning, holding my stomach. And this little lady comes up to me while I'm like leaning up against my suitcase, holding my stomach, feeling like crud. And she goes,
bloated beyond reason.
She asks me when I'm due. I was that bloated. I was huge. I looked genuinely...
The hand on your stomach probably didn't help.
But because I was sitting there rubbing it, and I looked like a pregnant lady. I'm not gonna lie. She was in every right to be asking me when I was due, but I thought it was hilarious.
It's a food baby.
And
I regret it big time.
I don't know when it's due. Sometime in the next week, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I was so inflamed. It was so painful. Absolutely worth it. Would do that again once every 2 years. Breadsticks, man. Breadsticks. Breadsticks.
At least if you're gonna do it again, let me make the breadsticks so they hurt you less.
Slightly less.
Slightly less. So on that note, my issue with gluten, I don't think this is all speculative. I have no confirmation on any side of this, but I do think it's more of the processing style of food in the States versus the actual gluten aspect of it, or like flour or wheat or whatever. Like I don't think it's entirely the wheat. I think it is more um the processing of foods in the States, because my family is from Bulgaria and I do go back every summer or every year. It's been kind of the fall the last 2 years, but I do go back, and I really don't, other than like dairy products, because I do be lactose intolerant, which, by the way, is what you should be as an adult. Every single human being. The weird ones are the ones who are not lactose intolerant as adults. So I do be lactose intolerant, and like, so dairy will still fuck me up even in Bulgaria. We're not as bad though. It's
I'm
definitely better.
Deathly allergic. The
Yeah,
anaphylaxis to dairy.
she's not lactose intolerant. She's just allergic. But like the rest of the foods that bother me, other than the ones that I have actual allergies to, which are like, I have oral allergies to certain fruits, vegetables, and nuts because of pollen. Which so fun. Didn't know I could do that. Didn't know pollen could get that bad. But yeah, so certain things like that, like I can't eat no matter where I am. And I've tried. But like gluten and stuff, it's not an issue in Bulgaria. Or anytime I've traveled. When I was in France, I pretty much survived off of baguettes. And I was not having the issues that I have when I'm here. So
yeah, food is an issue.
Yep.
There's also like a lot of things that are labeled dairy free contain the milk protein, which is what I'm allergic to. They'll be lactose free instead of dairy free, but they'll be labeled dairy free. So I have to be pretty on top of that. Gluten is
they get interchanged all the fucking time.
Everything. And so there's a lot of things, just like eating out has a risk of always having unknown factors, and if it's not listed on the menu, you don't always know every single ingredient. We're not fun people to go out to eat with. I mean, we are fun people to go out to eat with.
We're fun people to hang out with. We are not necessarily the easiest people to feed.
That one. And so,
but we take care of ourselves.
That's the thing, is we
don't make it anybody else's problem.
So, except for the waitress or waiter.
That's her job.
But that's their job. Anyway.
And the chefs and, all of that stuff. But like,
yeah.
There is a winery and restaurant called Cooper's Hawk.
Okay.
In Alpharetta, and I went with my parents. Actually, the Friday night of Grand Nationals.
Okay.
We went for some reason. I think it was my dad's birthday. It's my dad's birthday. End of May. So we went to this restaurant, and I'm like, I looked at the waitress, and I'm arguing with my parents at this point because I'm like, I have these dietary restrictions. My parents don't believe me. But I'm like, you don't want to see what happens when I eat them. So I'm like arguing with my parents, and the waitress walks up, and she is, oh my god, such a sweetheart. I loved her. But she walks up and she's like, hey, so do we have any dietary restrictions? And my parents both look at me like,
go ahead,
do your thing. And I like tell her, I'm like, I'm technically like not supposed to have gluten, but like it's really not a big deal, and like technically I should be fine. And she was like, I'm just gonna mark you down for no gluten. And she was such a sweetheart though about it. Like she was like so on top of it, and she was like, anything else? And I was like, technically I'm not supposed to have like these fruits, these vegetables, these like nuts and stuff. And she was like, what do you mean technically? I'm like, it's not gonna kill me. Like, you feel free. Like
to irritate me.
Like you're fine. Like you're not gonna kill me. It's not the end of the world if I consume these things. And she was like, girl, like it's so easy for us to just not put the things in. Meanwhile, my mom has always been the type of person that's like, both my parents actually have always been like, you're making the chef's job so much harder, because they're so used to making these meals a certain way that like if you have them substitute or like take something out or whatever, or like change something, you're making their lives harder. And meanwhile, every single chef or like line cook or anybody that I've talked to who has worked in food service has disagreed with that notion. So if you are like me and you were ever worried about making anybody in food service's life hell just because you have dietary restrictions, don't.
I mean, we were talking about this kind of early on in us living together because I would make food for you, and we'd discuss like what are some of the things that like would you eat this sauce? Would you like the seasoning? Things like that. And she's talking about, well, I just don't want to make it more difficult. I'll figure it out if I don't want it. Blah 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 blah. And I was
Yeah, I'm
like,
like, you do you. I'll take care of myself. Like I'm gonna cook for
but
myself. It's fine.
it's so easy to just leave the plain pasta for you, and
Yeah.
you can season it as you want. Like it's not any easier or harder for me to just not just leave it be. Like give you the plain ingredients already cooked and most of the way done so that you're ready to go and I can just go from there. Like it's not
Yeah.
that much more difficult.
Yeah. So I'm slowly unlearning that one.
So yeah,
Um
there's like there's a lot of just stigma and difficulty to eating out, eating food in general, and it makes it a lot more difficult to do things like bulk up and work out. So that's been a struggle of mine. So when I found out I was gluten intolerant, the way I found out I was gluten intolerant is essentially my body shut down. It stopped processing food. Almost entirely. I dropped 30. Dropped a total of 35 pounds. I dropped 30 of those in a month. The last 5 were probably in the next like 2 or 3 weeks while we were figuring out what was going on. And so, first off, I think this is kind of an introduction into how it is to deal with doctors. So I go in. I had been in for I think a physical like a month before, and again I had dropped 30 pounds in a month, and that is not a very healthy thing to do, no matter what size human you are. And I am not a very large human. For those who don't know, I am 5 feet tall. I am a very small human being, and I did not have 30 pounds to drop in a month.
she's tiny but she's strong.
I'm 5 feet tall. I'm a tiny person. And so I dropped 30 pounds in a month, and I'm concerned about this. I'm not feeling well. I'm having a lot of other issues, brain fog, feeling nauseous all the time, migraines, just genuinely feeling awful all the time. I couldn't stay awake for very long. Again, my body had stopped processing food. So I had very little energy. I was dropping weight like no other. I was not changing my eating habits. I was eating enough food, and it just was not going well. So I go into the doctor and I'm like, something is wrong. I am very ill. And the first thing that the doctor said to me was, congratulations. I'm not kidding. Congratulations on losing 30 pounds in a month. Like,
Name, number, address now.
no, we're not doing that. But,
I'll fight.
oh, I know. I did fight. I may have been feeling like absolute crap. And this is not a solo experience. I'm actually going to repeat this throughout because I did go see some specialists during this journey. But I kind of freaked out at her because, like, no, I am coming to you with a problem, and this is one of my like biggest, most worrisome symptoms. And it was congratulations because I had lost weight. That was insane to me. Immediately we jumped to cancer, thyroid problems, diabetes. We went through the classic pregnancy test because I'm a woman. By the way, when you start losing weight drastically, your period also goes away. So shocking. Yeah. But we had to make sure I wasn't pregnant.
I had an eating disorder for years. I've never had a regular period, and to be fair, that's remained consistent regardless of how much and how little I eat. However, there was a few months where there was a year where it was like I wouldn't get it for like 2 months at a time, and then I would get it, and then I wouldn't get it for 2 months, and then it was consistent-ish in that, but like it was barely there. And it was like 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah, and so it drastically affects on that, and yeah. I was very confident I was not,
because your body doesn't have the fat. Like your body needs fat in order to function.
Yeah.
And like your hormones especially are very impacted by the amount of fats, the amount of proteins, the amount of like all of the stuff that you eat. It very much impacts your body and how it functions. So without that, like without proper nutrients, your body just stops functioning.
And STD panels,
it conserves everything.
A lot of things like that. It took about 3 weeks of constant doctor's appointments, constant blood work, to figure out what was going on. I was referred to an allergist, a GI specialist, and I went to the GI specialist. And the first thing they recommended was a weight loss diet. And again, I'm not alone in this. There is a medical diet that this weight loss diet is based off of, the low FODMAP diet.
Mhm.
And instead, they chose to prescribe the Whole30 diet, which includes toxic diet culture.
Yeah.
It includes anything that would be cheating, right? So if you can find a substitute that matches, right? Like, okay, gluten is something that is taken out in the low FODMAP diet.
Yeah.
If I found gluten-free cookies, I was not allowed to have them on the Whole30.
Yeah.
Because it was part of the diet culture. You're not allowed to cheat.
You're not allowed to have sugar. You're not allowed to enjoy food.
Yeah, and so that was also very...
I hate almost every diet. The only one
negative.
I've actually found that's like, it's a fad diet, but like it's actually healthy is the Mediterranean one. I genuinely fuck with that one.
I like the seafood diet. I see food that's not going to kill me and I eat it.
Yeah. No, but the Mediterranean diet, that one's like, from the research that I've done, granted, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not I don't know, I'm not like a healthcare specialist or anything, like I'm not a trained professional, but from the research I've done, the Mediterranean diet is actually super healthy.
But yeah.
It's good for you. Also, any like high protein stuff, like all of that stuff, but like,
so lucky for
most diets I will fight.
But so I go to this GI specialist. I start doing the research on the Whole30 and realize very quickly it's diet culture. Luckily, I had an appointment with my allergist the next day. I'd been seeing this allergist since I was 8 years old. So I had known this man for
your dairy.
For my diary. No, for my dairy allergy and my like seasonal allergies. Yeah. I did the whole allergy shots for years.
Did I show you when I went to the allergist when I was in when I was in college? I needed to get tested because I needed to, in order for me to be exempt from the meal plan, which they had no way of telling me what was in the foods. Like, they couldn't guarantee what was in the foods. And I knew I wasn't going to eat all of it anyway because ARFID, but also allergies. The only way for me to be exempt from the meal plan was to go and get allergy tested because they want your money. And so I went to the allergy doctor as a freshman in college, and I showed up and I told them, like, what happens when I eat certain foods. And I was like, my mouth gets all itchy. Like, I eat, certain nuts and certain fruits and certain vegetables. I was like, I've never heard of anybody having allergies. But I was like, I know my mom has the same problem with cherries specifically.
Mm-hmm.
My dad has no issues. No idea how he made it out, but nothing. And I was like, my mom and my brother have the same issues. And I was like, my mouth gets all itchy. And they were like, it sounds like an oral allergy, which is usually caused by pollen. And they were like, are you allergic to pollen? I was like, deathly. Not actually. Like, it's not going to kill me, but oh my God, do I suffer in the spring.
I am.
You and the fucking leaves. The leaves are out to get Maddie. But yeah, in the spring, I genuinely, I can barely breathe. Like, my eyes get are watering constantly. They're itchy as fuck. Like, since I saw that allergy doctor, I've gotten so much better because I have much better allergy medicines. And not that I'm still not suffering at least a little bit in the spring, but a lot less. But we did a full allergy thing, like a scratch test on my back, and it was my full back. And so they had it split into 4 sections for the different types of pollen. The entire left side of my back was entirely red and swollen. And now the fun part about this, which I did not realize was ever going to happen, in the spring when my allergies get bad, my back gets itchy. Yeah,
I don't have that
in the same spot.
That's wild.
It is wild. I've never heard of anybody else having this, and I don't think I've asked the doctors if it's normal, the allergy. I don't think I ever asked them to be like, is it normal that my back gets how it's oh, the weather's cold and my knee hurts. It's the pollen's out, my back is just
Oh my god.
But if I take my allergy medicine, my back doesn't itch. But if I forget my allergy medicine, my nose will run, my eyes will itch, my back will itch.
That's
wildest experience ever.
Yeah, no, my allergy tests. I'm allergic to most like grasses, leaves, weeds, trees, pollen. We could not get very granular because there's only so much backspace, and it just that my whole back,
And you're a smaller person.
and it just instantaneously erupted in hives, and so
I didn't get hives, but it definitely swelled.
Hives. My entire back was one giant hive. So I found out pretty early on as a kid that I was allergic because we did a leaf pile in the backyard.
Oh god.
And I jumped in it. And I'm talking instantaneously covered in hives as like a 6-year-old. So I was forbidden from jumping in piles of leaves as a kid. I could not do that. That was not something I was allowed to do. Because yes, I would try to do it again, even though I knew what was going to happen. Because
you do that with almost all of your allergies. You're like, I can have a little. I'm like, no.
I'm a little for fun. Can swell up a little bit.
The amount of times she's tried to like microdose black pepper. He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, no, you died every time.
Anyway.
Proceeds to do it anyway.
So that allergist, who I had been seeing forever, was actually the one who suggested I look into the low FODMAP diet. Mm-hmm. We did the elimination diet. I found out very quickly that I was gluten that was causing all of the inflammation, including joint inflammation, migraines, and GI inflammation from mouth to tail. And that's what was essentially my body just was not processing the nutrients from food anymore because it was so inflamed.
Mouth to tail.
That's what I'm going to use. Those are the words. I said it. So eliminated that, and almost instantaneously a lot of the inflammation went down. And so again, that was about the like frustrating things with doctors. But after that, I had to essentially regain those 30 pounds because I was severely underweight. On top of that, because my joints had been inflamed for so long, all of my joints were now incredibly loose. So that's where strategic training comes in. And so learning how to work out without injuring my body is crazy, especially with EDS or hypermobility. My body can go way beyond the safe limit for my muscles and bones.
That, and I never have any idea if I'm hitting the actual muscle group I'm supposed to be hitting. I'm like, I know this targets abs, but like I don't feel it in my abs, I feel it in my back.
So figuring out ways to actually target the right muscles, to set the limits on purpose and not go past them. Mm-hmm. High reps, low weight, lots of training there. But that was a very almost empowering experience, was building back that weight in a way I wanted to for my body, for my health. And that was a very cool experience for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely struggle with doctors and taking you seriously and listening to you. And like writing it off because you're a woman, you're pregnant, that's why you have brain fog and we're losing 30 pounds in a month immediately.
Also, if you're pregnant, would you be losing 30 pounds
Sometimes
in a month?
You do, apparently, but
really,
proportionally, I don't think the 30 pounds to me was the correct amount because like I need you to think about that as 25% of my weight.
Yeah. No, I've seen the before and after pictures.
Brief intermission for fire alarm. We're back.
Nothing happened. We're fine. Everything's fine. Someone in the building set it off.
Okay. Where were we?
I don't remember.
We were talking about working out,
and then
we kind of
you started gaining back the muscle.
Yeah.
I don't remember other than that.
So that's been very cool in dance, actually. I've actually have a couple of students who come to me specifically for because they know I'm hypermobile and struggle with joint issues. And they're curious how I have handled it and managed it and worked it into my regimen, my routines, practicing, training my body so that I am not in pain as much as I could be, or I am not as at risk of injuring myself as I could be. Yeah. My one piece of recommendation is wear the gosh darn goddamn supports. So what I'm talking about are like knee braces, ankle.
If you're in pain, do something about it.
Right? Because if you're in pain now, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
And protecting your body, especially if you're hypermobile, putting on a compression sleeve on that joint can help just keep you from overextending it constantly.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to train a little bit on top of that, but letting it rest, taking anti-inflammatories, taking the steps you can take, so important.
Yeah. I mean, half the reason we're friends is because, or like the reason we got close is because you were the first person I met with like hypermobile like issues, and like all of the issues that I was having. I finally had someone to relate to me.
I think one of our first like interactions was my old roommate and her old dance coach brought me into her lesson for a second.
Yeah.
Because you were struggling to just feel your body.
Mm-hmm. I was like, I have no idea where my limbs are.
And he was like, Maddie was talking about this. Let's bring her in.
Yeah.
She's got some stuff for this.
Yeah.
And I talked about some like grounding exercises and
Mhm.
like body awareness tips and like
Yeah.
thinking about things going to my extremities and tickling sensations and
Yeah.
making yourself aware of your own body is step one. And it's hard. It's really difficult for especially with people with no proprioception.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of the worst people on that. You can ask Annabelle. There is not a minute that I can remember not having a bruise from something, a scrape, running into everything.
This girl looks like she's been abused.
I haven't been.
I'm not abusing her. I swear to God.
I just run into things, man.
Swear to God, you gotta upload the picture of your. Please put the picture of your like
No!
bruise on the screen right here, right here. I needed to go right here.
I have scarring from one of my worst bruises recently, where I was
Tell
breaking
the
down a
story.
box. It was a reinforced box for cat litter, so it was not breaking down very easily. And I thought, big brain moment here, not a big brain moment. Don't do this at home, kids. That jumping both feet in the air, no support, onto said box that I was having trouble breaking down would totally work. The box didn't break down when my full weight
Maddie broke down.
landed on it, and then I slipped on
Maddie
that said
broke.
box, fell on it, and again, it was maybe a little dented. It was not broken down, and I was like, I got injured for nothing.
Had I been around, this wouldn't have happened.
But
I would have stopped this.
I
So Maddie is a combination of no proprioception and poor judgment.
I'm a little stupid sometimes, man.
You're a little dumb. You're not stupid.
I'm a little stupid. Just a little bit.
Dumb.
A little bit.
Dumb.
I'm a little dumb. I'm a lot
She's
dumb.
a little dumb. She's not
I'm a
stupid. She's
lot
very,
dumb.
very intelligent. She's just a little dumb.
But no, I literally a bruise this big on my thigh, and it was black for weeks. It was horrendous, and I now have scarring from it, which is wild.
Put it on the screen.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but highly entertaining. But yeah, body awareness is definitely a big struggle.
Yeah, mine is always I can't ever tell if I'm being like, the biggest one with dancing was I couldn't tell what I looked like doing things. So it was like, I feel like I'm doing something huge, and everybody else is like, I can barely see what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I felt like anytime I had to like tilt my pelvis so that I'm not like
Clip it. So I'm not.
anytime I'm like so I didn't look like I was fucking thrusting at someone, or like slouching in a really weird like back way. I felt like a little duck with my tail out. Like I was like, oh my God, my ass is like out in the wind, and everybody's like, more. It's like, seriously? It's like, yeah, you're barely tilted. You're fine. Like,
Don't worry about
we
it.
can't tell. And I was like, oh my God. And that was wild. It took a lot of like, and I recommend this to everybody who's always like, I have no idea what I look like. I'm like, dance in the mirror.
Yeah.
Dance in the mirror pays so much attention to how you feel and whether you like how it looks.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you like how it looks and you like how it feels, keep doing it. If you like how it feels but you think it looks stupid, maybe don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. It really sucks to watch yourself dance, but like, it's the best way to be like, this is what this correlates to. Like, if I can't feel what it's doing, I might as well like just see it and remember it. So I'm like, yeah, I know how this feels, and I know, so now I know when I dance that if I do this thing that feels this way, it'll look this way, and I'll like how it looks, and it'll be fine. My other biggest thing was always my shoulders, number one, coming out of sockets because my connection was too my connection was fine, but it was in the wrong place. So it was causing strain on my shoulders rather than traveling to my back. Like the connection point was finishing at my shoulder rather than being in my back. Um and my lats and like all of that stuff, or like my pecs or anything. Like it was staying in my shoulders, and therefore when someone yanked real hard, my shoulder would go out. And I still have issues with it sometimes, but like I've gotten a lot better with it.
Oh yeah.
The other big one that I always had was the amount of tension that I hold everywhere. So I'm always like really tense, and my shoulders will, now that I've gotten better at not allowing my shoulders to be yanked out of socket by someone, um, they will instead just travel up, 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 up into my ears.
Whispering sweet little nothings.
Apparently. So I have issues with like holding a lot of tension and being really tight in my movement now, because I'm trying so hard to keep everything where it's supposed to be that I'm like I'm overdoing it,
Overcorrecting.
because my muscles aren't also just like not strong enough to hold everything in place yet on their own. And so I need to work harder, and then I end up overworking it, and then I'm like I'm too stiff and I can't move like a dancer would.
Yeah. Um, I think that honestly like transitions kind of cleanly into the next thing I wanted, and kind of final thing I had on my mind, which
Mm.
was mental health.
Yeah.
So with struggling to eat, having days where brain fog and pain can spike for no reason, just having a lot of health issues that aren't necessarily visible to the naked eye. Um, a lot of mental health issues, I think, kind of coincide with that, on top of just baseline
Comorbidities.
comorbidities and just hereditary
Yeah.
dispositions. And so a lot of mine, like bipolar, runs in the family. A lot of different anxieties, depression, things like that run in my family. And so therapy is definitely good for me, but I definitely need medication for a good, healthy baseline for my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes day to day life so much easier. I'm actually on a combination. It helps treat my ADHD and anxiety and depression and energy levels and like unwillingness to like get up and moving and things like that all at once. And it helps me have a baseline function where I can do things that like help improve my mental health.
Right.
I am not a very, it is very, very difficult for me to function without my medication. And it is something that has improved my quality of life. I didn't get on it until late high school, early college, and I saw instantaneous just transformation in how I was able to function day to day. It was super duper helpful for me. And so I've taken the medication route and it's been super good for me. But Annabelle, you rely way more heavily on therapy.
Yeah. So the way I approach everything is a lot more not a mind over matter, because I don't really like when people use that as like a method. I think it discounts a lot, but I think it is important to realize how much um, your mindset and the way that you approach a situation actually determines how you'll react to a situation. And I think, I'm not saying I'm great at it. Like I'm still learning, and I am in therapy. I go once a month, and I'm very proud of it. But it helps me a lot more, because I'm like, this is something that I can carry with me
Yeah.
24/7. Like I don't need to remember to take any meds. I don't need to remember to do this. I don't need to like worry about prescriptions. I don't need to worry about how much everything costs. Like it's more just like I have this in my hand because it's in my brain.
Yeah.
And I'm building the patterns, and I'm building the thought processes, and the like all of the mental gymnastics that I need to do to convince myself that I'm an okay person and I'm fine and everything's going to be fine. Like it is exhausting, and it is a lot, but I find it benefits me a lot more to handle it from an inside out perspective of like, if my brain is doing this to me, then my brain can also stop it. And while my the thought processes can't fix your chemical imbalances, like that's
Yeah.
just it's never going to be that way. But I think I also I lived for so long like being like there's something wrong with me because everybody's always mad at me for all of these things that I'm doing, that like I learned a lot of coping mechanisms from the beginning
Yeah.
without ever being taught them. And some of those I've had to change because some of those were extremely unhealthy, and I was causing a lot more harm than I was actually doing good for myself. And while other people might have been happier, I was definitely not. But the way that I like to approach it is more of the like, I've been doing this for 22 years. I have been surviving the way that I've been surviving for 22 years, and I can make it another 22 like this. It's not, especially with the amount of work that I'm putting in and the amount of help that I'm getting from my therapist and from like friends. Like I have a really good support system now. I like, some of it is a little like, I will admit it's not the best mindset of like, I like being able to do everything myself and like knowing that I don't need like outside help from medications. Like I like knowing that like I work hard for this
Yeah.
and it's paying off. And I know that's not always the best. Like I'm not trying to say I'm superior to anybody who takes medications. If you're taking medications, absolutely you do you. It's just not for me.
Yeah. And
And I prefer, I'm such a like external processor
yeah.
that um if I do talk through it enough, and like I've gotten really good at talking to myself about it at this point, that like I've gotten into the I've been in therapy for 4 years straight now, 5 years almost. Um and I've gotten really good at like knowing what my therapist would say to me because I've had these conversations, and like obviously I still need her and I love her, and like I absolutely like, don't get me wrong, I'm not quitting therapy anytime soon. I love it. I think it's really good for maintenance. It, the same way that you go to a doctor for your annual checkup or a dentist 2 times a year, whatever you do, all of that stuff, like the same way you do that, your mind needs the same maintenance. But I think I've gotten really good at like, I've had these conversations so many times. I've had a lot of like cycles where I'm like, what happened the last time? And I'm so I've gotten really good at like, I will have a conversation with myself, and as crazy as that makes me sound, it helps a lot to
Oh
be
yeah.
like, I know I process really well externally. I know the more that I talk through something, the better I'm going to understand it, the better I'm going to understand myself. I am also just like, I'm so aware of the way that I function. Like I have no delusions about the way my brain functions. I'm like, I know I'm being a little insane about this right now, but like I also know why I'm being
Yeah.
insane about it. And so like I'm very aware. But even just being able to like, sometimes that's all I need. Like sometimes I really do need to just like sit down either with myself, with one of the cats, with a friend, and I'm just like, hey, this is what's going on in my life and I'm freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Does that also mean that I struggle sometimes with like being a little emotional? Yes, because I like to analyze and I don't like to feel. But but yeah, I much prefer the
Yeah.
therapy route for myself.
And medication has been life changing for me. I definitely recommend that
Yeah.
you do therapy on top of that.
Yeah.
And most people are able to wean themselves off with therapy. I do think a lot of mine are chemical imbalances, and again, they're very genetic.
Yeah.
And I
I
do,
mean, that's what mental health disorders are. They are chemical imbalances for the most part, and so like it's not your fault. That's the
no,
main thing. It's none of it is your fault. Mental, physical health, none of it is your fault.
how you choose to approach it
Yeah.
and set yourself up for your best life is your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But highly recommend doing whatever feels right for you.
Whatever you do, just make sure that it works for you, and fucking hell, please take accountability for who you are as a person. Do
Because,
not. I One of my biggest pet peeves ever, and I won't even say pet peeves. I think it's just straight up disrespectful to anybody who struggles with mental health, is when people blame their like use their mental health as an excuse for the behavior.
yeah,
You're allowed to slip up. You're absolutely allowed to slip up, have a bad day, do something that you're not proud of. We've all done it.
but that's still you.
But you made the choices. You made a bad choice, and you need to either apologize for it or stick by it.
And under duress is not a great place to be. And it's absolutely okay to help people understand why it happened. but also acknowledge that you need to take steps in some way, shape, or form to reduce that from happening again, right?
Yeah.
Like, if it was under duress because you were having a really bad mental health day,
Yeah.
that's not great on anybody's part. Like, you were having a bad day, they were probably had a bad day after the fact. That sucks.
Yeah.
Helping them understand why it happened, maybe it allows them to give you a second chance, but you can also identify how you could have reduced your stress or removed yourself from the situation earlier or done something differently
Yeah.
to just have a better experience next time, not only for them but for you too.
Yeah. And like, I mean, that's not to say don't show compassion, because there absolutely are moments where it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
Everything fell apart at the exact same moment, and circumstances went awry, and you just couldn't, like, it was.
The crash out crashed out.
And you have to have so much. It's hard to do, but you have to have so much compassion for yourself, and it helps so much when the people around you have compassion for you, where it's like sometimes it really is just like inevitable that you are going to have this reaction, especially if you're like holding things in for a really long time. Like if there's a lot going on and you don't feel like you have anybody you can talk to about it, like all of that stuff, like it's absolutely hard. And I'm not saying like you're not allowed to have a reason for your reaction. And it doesn't mean that you necessarily did anything wrong. It doesn't mean that like you were wrong to react. It just means that maybe you hurt someone in the way you reacted, or maybe what you reacted was actually not beneficial for you or anybody around you, and you have to take ownership of that.
Take accountability. Make sure that, right, like, you can still acknowledge what happened as something that wasn't great for you as well, though. Make sure you're still acknowledging it in that grace and compassion for you.
Yeah.
I was having a terrible time. Here's why, but here's what I did to you, and that also wasn't great.
Yeah.
And here's some steps I'm going to take that I can take so that I can maybe learn from this experience and not put myself in that position again.
Yeah.
So that I don't put you in that position again.
The amount of times I've had to go up to someone and be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what happened to me. Like, I didn't feel like I was in control. I'm really sorry. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you, obviously. I'm really sorry that I did hurt you. Like, please let me know how I can make that up to you. I promise it won't happen again. Like, if it's within my control, I promise it won't happen again. Like, I'm not intentionally doing any of this stuff. Like, it's hard to do. It's hard to take accountability, but like, it is so important to, like, especially with how much stigma there is around mental health, it is so important to take ownership for when you behave poorly.
Yeah.
No matter like how much in your control it was, it's just like, even if it's just circumstances, you still did the thing. It still affected the people around you. And like, there's so many things where like, and there's one of the harder things to do, I think, actually, even at least for me, the harder thing from like, other than taking accountability, is letting someone know that what they did also hurt.
Yeah.
That one's really hard, and it also involves a lot of compassion. Like, all of this involves so much compassion. Any kind of being a person requires compassion. But there's so many issues where like, people don't know what you're feeling, how you're going about your life. Like, even if they have the same issues as you, like me and Maddie have a lot of the same issues, but the way we go about them, the way we handle things,
so different.
Incredibly different. And like, does it cause frustration? Absolutely. But like, the important thing is being able to go up to someone and be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but like, the way you acted really hurt me, or like, it really made this part of my life more difficult in this moment, or something, like, whatever it is. Being able to like stand up for yourself and being like, hey, I have this issue. I don't know if you're aware I have this issue, or maybe like, for sure they're aware that you have this issue, and like, and this is how it affects me, and so your actions had this impact on me, and I'm hoping that like, none of it was intentional, but like, I need you to know that this is how it affected me, and it's really fucking hard to do, and I hate it. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it helps.
All right. We have been yapping in a very serious manner for a very long time. So I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
My hands be sweating. I'd be shaking.
So I think it's time for my favorite part of every episode. Lobotomy. I think we should...
Lobotomy. I mean, why can't I say the word lobotomy today?
Lobotomize.
Lobotomize.
We're going to be lobotomizing one of our symptoms. It could be anything. that you experience in any.
Would you not lobotomize them all?
I mean, I would, but you have to pick only one.
Oh, if I could get rid of one
Just
symptom.
one.
Mm.
I know. It's difficult.
You go first.
To be honest, it's so easy for me. It would be my deathly allergies by far. If I could just eat food without dying, uncomfortable, I'll take it. I just don't want to die.
That's really fair. That's really, really fair.
I think that's kind of an easy pick for me.
I don't have anything that easy.
One day you're gonna have to pick the lobotomy topic,
I know.
so that I
so
get
that
to
I'm
think,
prepared.
so that you're prepared.
Oh, you know what? I think I would lobotomize the symptom that makes me unable to do the thing that I want to do.
Yes.
I'm not talking executive dysfunction. I'm not talking I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh, I really need to go do this thing and like I can't get myself to do it. I'm talking about when for some reason.
Is this demand avoidance?
Maybe it is, but do you remember when I was doing lessons with Reg and he would ask me to do something?
This is demand avoidance.
And I literally could not get my body to move. I'm like, I am trying so hard to get my left arm to do a thing. I want it to budge a centimeter. Nothing. My brain will like, and I don't, if someone knows what exactly this is, because I don't think
demand
it's
avoidance
demand
the closest, but I feel like it's
but
different,
that's like you told me to do it, so now I don't want to do it. It's like the thing where you're like washing the dishes and someone's like, oh, can you wash the dishes? And I'm like,
I'm actually doing it right now, and
I'm doing it right now, and now I don't want to because like pay attention, and now I'm mad about it. But like, no, it's not that. It's like I really want to do the thing.
Yeah,
I want to do what you're asking me to do. I'm not mad about you asking me to do it, but like for some reason, my body, it's like my brain to body connection just shuts off, and I'm like, I can't move. I can't move. It is the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced because I'm not mad at the person who asked me to do the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, it feels like it's probably like a fight or flight thing, like a freeze. It's a freeze, probably. It's a freeze response. But like, it's the same thing of just like, it almost is like comparable to like, you're standing in front of a hot stove and someone's like, put your hand on that stove.
And like
your body's not gonna let you do that.
No.
Why would it? It would be incredibly painful. You would sizzle and burn. Like, why would your body let you do that? It's almost the same thing, but it's harmless. Whatever someone's asking me to do, harmless. I'm just terrified of it, and I can't move. That's what I would lobotomize, because it's the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced.
Dying from eating food is definitely the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced.
You've experienced death? Tell me about it.
I've experienced dying, not death.
Anyway.
So follow us on all the social medias. We promise a way more fun, silly, lighthearted episode next week.
Next episode will be much more light for you, but I promise. But this one was very topical.
And we will continue to sprinkle in some like just deeper thoughts, harder, heavier hitting.
And if you want more of these, like we're happy to do it. I was shaking like a chihuahua the whole time and sweating, but you know, I'm here for it.
But yeah, let us know if you like this one, you want more silly ones, you want more games.
Tell us what you want.
Yeah,
tell us what you want.
We're taking suggestions. We're gonna run out of ideas eventually. No, we're not.
Yeah, we will.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
Anyway, follow us on all the social media, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.